Hi and welcome. My name is Phoenix and this is Chasing Limits on Shaw TV. Junior and U23 national team trials from Bow Valley Provincial Park. Beautiful Kananaskis River, Canoe Meadows, or as some know it as well too, Kananaskis Whitewater Center in beautiful Kananaskis, Alberta, Canada. Alongside me, providing his commentary, Executive Director with the Alberta Slalom, Canoe and Kayaking Association, Chuck Lee. Chuck, you've held competitions here before and you keep returning, and we're returning with some amazing people who are going to be competing today.
Yes, we are. We've got competitors from BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Ontario, and Quebec City, Quebec as well. So we're very excited about having the National Slalom Junior and U23 team selection races this year here at the Kananaskis. It's a great venue for this.
C1 Series Canoe Slalom men and women. This is the final run, and our first competitor number 20.
Finn is from Chilliwack, BC, and he is in his second year of competition. We saw him last year at the National Championships, and Finn is just one of our up-and-coming young juniors, and he is on the course. Nice job going through gates 1 and 2. This is coming into gate 3. Oh, and he flips over here, and can he get a roll? Yes! Got a roll. Looks like he got a little bit of help from the bottom, but he's up and going. Now he's got to go through this gate in the downstream fashion. It's in the eddy, but he had to go through it downstream in the gate number 3, and now he's going for 4 and an upstream in 5. That's the red poles, and he's got to come back up through that gate, twist, turn, pull out of it. Using his, he's in the C1, so he's in a kneeling position here and paddling with a single blade.
18 gates to go through. Finn is just, all he has to do is get his head through the gates. Anytime you touch the gate, there's a penalty. Anytime you miss a gate, there's another penalty.
Yeah, it's a 2-second penalty for a touch and a 50-second penalty for a missed gate. So he made that gate. Well, he'll take a 2-second touch on that upstream. Finn, after the first runs, he's in the number 8 position, I guess, in this competition.
Trying to get himself out of the roll right here.
Yep, let's see if we can do this. Oh, gasping for air, and needs to keep that head down. It's the 3rd attempt.
Rest assured, we do have safety personnel standing by.
Out of his boat.
Pulls himself out, and rightly so.
It's exhausting, right? And here comes the safety boat for a rescue.
And let's keep in mind, too, safety is paramount to these athletes as well, too. We have a number of safety officials on the side, not only judging this, but also making sure that these athletes are taken care of, because as you can tell right now, the stream is going to take you for a ride if you allow it to. But
here they
realize what you're seeing is, don't worry about it, everything is under control. Yeah,
we're going to grab that paddler, and our safety boater is going to come in and get him into the eddy here, and then they'll go figure out where his boat is and rescue that boat here too.
All right, Chuck, as we watch this, is this something that all the other athletes are probably looking at as well, too? They realized that Finn had some issues around some of these eddies, and I know the berms have been created as well, too, to create some incredible waves here. But I'm sure that the other athletes are looking and saying, okay, well, I've got to be careful through this stretch.
I think that most of the athletes are well accomplished here, and we're looking at for the most part, we're looking at the senior members, the junior and the U23 group. So most of them have a great role anyhow. So it's not going to be a problem. See, he just missed that.
Where did Finn lose it there? It looked like he was just coming around the corner trying to hit that first gate, or that one gate.
He's stretching to put his head through the gate, and he gets off balance. Same thing here. You know, he just didn't quite push himself into that eddy far enough, and now he's right on that line between the current and the eddy, and it's really hard to roll right up in there.
Well, that's why we call it a competition. It's not meant to be easy. And here we go with our next competitor number 21. Chuck?
Number 21 is Jacob K. I'll call it K because it's Crouchu, and I never get this right, and sorry, Jen, about that. So Jacob is a 16-year-old from Chilliwack, BC as well. And this is his brother, was well accomplished in whitewater slalom, and Jacob is following along his pathway. He's taking a 2-second touch there on that gate number 3, and then he's moving on nicely clean through 4.
So if any part of your body, including the paddle, touches the gate, keep in mind that will be a 2-second penalty. If the athlete misses a gate, we're talking a 50-point swing here. That's basically it's detrimental to even making it to the finals.
That's right. So you won't qualify a race if you take a 50-second penalty. It'll just be too much.
Chuck, can you potentially hit one gate multiple times and get penalized every single time, or once you touch it, that's it?
One touch on the gate, that's all you get. It doesn't matter which pole or how many times you touch it. So you're only going to get a maximum of 2 seconds. Nicely done there, Jacob. Now it takes the touch again, right? So got to be very, very controlled, very precise in the way you paddle. Jacob, on his first run today, he took 10 seconds in penalties on the first run, and but he missed 2 gates on the second run. So he's got to make sure he gets all these gates this run so that he's going to be in a position to be competitive for runs number 3 and 4.
Consistency is the key, and Jacob is struggling with a few of the gates. He seems to have gained his composure as he makes his way down the course to gate number 12.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing well here, considering, you know, this is a really tough boat to paddle. You've got to keep this boat moving all the time. You got to keep your balance really well. Nice miss on that pole, so he gets the upstream in place, but he takes the 2-second touch again.
Yeah, those yoga courses seem to be paying off. He's bending left and right, but he seems to, he knows what he needs to do, but knowing what you need to do and doing it are two different things.
Yeah, it's being very precise, being very strong, being very precise in your boat, and being also very precise in the way you position your body and your blade as you go through the gates. So these competitors are all competing for a spot to trying to get on the junior team to go to the Junior World Championships. And they've got to not only make it in the top 3 in the group, but they've also got to hit a percentage point.
16-point penalty for Jacob as we go to our next competitor. And again, this is a challenging course. It's been around for a while. It's something that has been made up. And as we just take a quick little moment here just to see what Jacob is trying to do here. Again, he knows what he needs to do is just getting his body around, and a little bit of frustration certainly as the wind is playing a little bit of a havoc on some of those gates. But here we go with competitor number 22. Chuck, what do we know about Pelle Vincent Braun?
Pelle's from the Yukon. He paddles out of the White Horse Club, and he's been on our scene for now 3 years. Pelle's a very strong competitor. He's got lots of potential, lots of drive, and you can see him pushing hard through here. Pelle is now 17 years old, and he's got 1 more year on the junior team before he's going to be done. But Pelle did well in his first runs, so he won the junior class in 1 run, and he was second on one of the other runs.
Seems to be having some trouble with the up gates, not necessarily the down gates. A couple of penalties already for this gentleman.
Yeah,
maneuver through that. Oh, except for a big touch on the back there. That's going to hurt
again, right? So he's very strong, very fast, but his touches will hurt him. And he missed this gate. He is supposed to go down through this green gate. It's in the eddy. So it's a really tough gate to get through cleanly. We'll see it in the K1s. They just sort of slide through this thing really easily. But again, it's a matter of that great boat positioning and being on the line.
Yes, it's an exhausting sport. As you can tell, Pelle is just struggling to get on the upstream on this one, on the upgate on that one.
He was well down below the gate line, so he's got to take 3 or 4 strokes to get up through it. So that's all time wasted.
Through 12 and 13.
Good clean gates. And see, he'll come in tight on 14. It won't take 1 stroke to get out of the gate. That's what we're looking for here.
You can see the penalty time on the right-hand side of your screen as Pelle Vincent Braun makes it through the last few gates here on this course. You are watching the C1 Series Canoe Slalom Men Final Run. As you can see, the cumulative time on the bottom of your screen as he makes his way through the balance of the course. A little frustrated with this, especially with that 50-point penalty. That is not going to bode well for his situation.
No, it'll put him out of the running, but he can qualify 3 of his 4 runs. So what we're looking for here is that he wants to be in that top 3 group for the juniors, and they're going to throw out 1 run for him.
Overly aggressive on that particular gate, would you say, Chuck?
Too high, right? So he came in a little bit on the too high side, and then the gate swung, and that's where he got his 50-second penalty from.
Had a rock in the way there as well, too, as we join in progress participant number 23. This is Benjamin Risk. Oh, there's a name for you in this sport.
Yeah, he's paddling Cam Smedley's old boat, but he's doing very well in it. Benjamin's from Ottawa, and he trains with the national team in Ottawa. And you see how fast he is here, getting in and out of that gate in a lot of speed, spinning the boat well, moving well through his offside, pushing the boat down the stream. This is a tough gate to get in and out of quickly, and he does that very well. Magnificent course here as well, too. Lots of challenges, as we just noticed. Benjamin just running into that rock, or barely running into the rock, just through that gate here. You've done a magnificent job on this course, Chuck. Well, the gate designers, the course designers, will position the gates in exactly the right place so that they sort of test the skill of the competitors. Benjamin running a 2-point penalty so far as he makes his way through the second section. Gates number 12 and 13 have seemed to be quite manageable for a lot of these athletes. It's right around here that they have some issues, and you can tell Benjamin with another 2-point penalty touching the gate. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll be surprised that wasn't a 50-second penalty, because he went through the wrong way. So he's got to go through the red gates in an upstream fashion, and if he goes through it in a downstream fashion, then he's going to get a 50-second penalty. No, they only called him the 2-point penalty so far. So see here, he's going up through this red gate. That's why we have 17. Judges, Chuck. That's why we have judges. Final stretch to the finish. There you go, Benjamin Risk. There is his time. And you called it a 50-point penalty on that one as well, too. The frustration in Benjamin's face, and he knows it. He knows it. As we take one more look here through gate number 6. And losing a little bit of his control, and he had some of the gates he was having some issues, but he'll learn from it. He'll move on, and he'll learn from it. That's right. Now we're on course with Hayden Daniels. This is competitor number 24. What do we know about Hayden? Hayden's from Calgary. His sister competes on the national team, and Hayden was on the junior national team for several years. Sort of gave up the sport while he was busy firefighting. Now he's into the architectural program at the University of Calgary, and he is working hard to see if he can get back on track with the national team program. How's he doing so far, Chuck? Hayden's a little rusty, but he's doing very well. He's 22 years old, so he's in the U23 group, and he's got some touches. In the first race, he did well, but he is back behind the pack. Now Hayden's got to meet a standard. He's got to be within 19% of the overall time frame. And so Hayden there's only 3 competitors in this class, but he's also got to meet this percentage standard. And so far in the first 2 races, he has not done that. Coming around number 11, which has been difficult for the last couple of competitors, he handled that like a pro. Beautifully done. Yeah, Hayden's a nice guy. He's doing well with this course. Really personable individual. A number of judges are around the course as well, too, so they're keeping an eye on whether or not each of the competitors touches the gate, but there's also a point scoring system as well, too. Right, so we're going to look at, there's 4 races here, essentially. And each of the competitor has 4 runs down this course. They've changed, after the first 2 races, they changed the course. And so we're racing a separate new course for each of these competitors today. And they will get a point ranking system based upon how they finish. Through 18, 2-point penalty for Hayden Daniels. Should be very, very happy with that one. As you can tell, exhaustion on his face, but he knows that was one great effort. He did very well on this course, Chuck. Yeah, Hayden did very well for not having paddle C1 as much as he probably should have. And racing here today, he's really doing well. Next on the course is competitor number 25 in the very vibrant blue boat. This is Yannick Laviolette. Yes, Yannick is a great competitor. And you'll watch how smooth he is. And he's doing that downstream with a direct move. Coming in here, and he's coming in nice and tight on number 5. And again, great balance here. He's got to go through this little hole on a sideways move. Beautifully done. These competitors really are in the ballet field in terms of their smoothness, their ability to control the boat, they're holding the lines. Now watch as Yannick comes down here through this very tough sort of...
Speed kicks up big time, but you've got to be in control. Follow that line. Follow that line beautifully. He does have a 2-point penalty on him so far, but again, he's attacking this course beautifully, probably the fastest we've seen, at least in this run so far, from Yannick Laviolette. Through 12 and 13. Very well done. Keeping his eye on the next gate, number 14. This is an up gate. Magnificently done. On his way to 15. Through down. Couple to go through. Keeps his sights open for the finish line. One last big turn through 17. Should be an easy one through 18 as he paddles to the end. Wonderful effort. 2-point penalty for Yannick Laviolette. He should be very pleased with that one.
Yeah, Yannick's got a great run. You can see it in his face right there.
Absolutely well done. He had a lot of control, his speed, he maintained it very well through this section as well too. That's not an easy section to go through, Chuck.
No, it's not. It's very challenging. If you get the line right, you run through it perfectly.
It's his paddle just nicely around that gate as we have. Competitor number 26, Liam Smedley, is looking to take the lead.
Yeah, Liam did very well in his first 2 runs. He's in the lead right now. He's got 2 really solid first runs on yesterday's performance, and he's looking to just sort of solidify his position on the national team for the U23 race. As
we're looking at the C1 Series Canoe Slalom men and women, the final run, different style of boat, different paddles.
Yeah, a little bit different style of boat. It's the same length as the kayak, but it's 10 centimeters wider, and Liam is sitting on his knees. Essentially, that boat is, he's got his knees folded underneath him, and he is paddling with a single blade. And so there's a little bit less speed to the C1s than the kayaks, but a lot of power there. And you see he's paddling on the offside as well as his onside. He's just sort of stroking away. It's a little more complicated and a lot of balance here.
Into 14, clean so far. We'll see. We'll watch the penalties on the right-hand side, see if he touches the gates. Clean through that. Well, it doesn't look like he was tagged with a couple of penalty points in that one.
Yeah, he got some penalties coming down into gate number 12 earlier on, but that's okay. He's got a very good, solid, comfortable lead here.
As you can see, Liam's time as well too, as he makes his way through 17, now through 18. Final push to the end. 4-point penalty for Liam Smedley and a time of 1:37.91. Again, as we looked at the course here, some amazing challenges. Liam, with one exception there, handled this course fairly well.
Yeah, Liam is actually one of the competitors to beat in this thing, in this competition, and you'll see him lay down some really solid results that will demand attention from the other athletes, because they've got to make the percentage based upon Liam and some of the other K1 competitors.
With the men's finals complete, congratulations to our top 3.
Yes, we've got in first place in the junior category, we've got Benjamin Risk. Second would be Jacob. Then in the men's U23, we had the top competitor was Liam Smedley, followed by Yannick Laviolette.
Gemma Groschmal is now entering the course. It's the C1 Series Canoe Slalom for women, the final run. Gemma, contestant number 30. What do we know about Gemma?
Gemma's from
Calgary.
Cautious.
She looks a little cautious.
Gemma's from Calgary, and she is only 13 years old. And this is a tough boat to paddle when you're only 13 years old.
Come on, Gemma.
So she just
she's in for experience. Is that what you're saying, Chuck?
She's here for the experience. She actually, as a cadet, she can't go to the junior worlds. They restrict the competitors to only be, they've got to be 15 years old this season for going into the junior worlds. So she's just having it out here for the experience. She's paddled this course lost. This is her home place where she trains a lot. So Gemma will be working hard to just get down this course.
It's sure a lot different, Chuck, when you're going for a best time rather than just making it through the course. There's the added pressure.
Yeah, but you know, it's gonna, come on, Gemma. Let's see a roll here.
Again, we have safety personnel standing by, so keep in mind, as you can see there, she's doing her best. She pulls herself out. But you know what? Chalk it up for some experience. kudos to Gemma for getting out there and at least trying.
Oh yeah, she's swum down the race course a lot of times in the past, right? This is nothing new for her, right? So she's got a safety boater there. They're just going to pull her over. They won't make this, Eddie, but they'll make the next one. Let's go over boats. Let's just go.
As you can see, a number of personnel are just trying to help them out of the water, as well as gather up her boat as well too. It's one of the things that, you know, let's be real here, it's one of the risks that are inherent of this sport.
Yeah, it's not really, you know, like, look at her smiling, right? She's done this a lot of times for us, right? And she comes up smiling all the time, and she'll get her boat back, and away she goes.
What happened here? Lost just equilibrium, just a little bit.
She loses her balance right here, and then there's a big little bit of an eddy right there, and she's got to balance that. So she went into it with a lot of downstream lean, which is what she wanted to do with the hole, but then she loses this. And then she's going to try for a roll, and she tries to get a K1 roll. Almost there. Heads up a little bit early, and she needed to go to finish off that roll.
She probably realized, you know what, I better just pull out of this and just be on the safe side. There she is with a big smile. Yeah, she's fine. She's great. Good job, Gemma. 13 years old, you said.
That's it. And this is a tough race for a 13-year-old in the C1 category.
Well, it's a little tougher for this person here, too, trying to rescue the boat. This course is absolutely magnificent. Maybe take a moment just to talk about this course. Well, actually, let's talk about the leaderboard here.
Yeah, on the men's junior side, there's the top 4 competitors here are racing in the junior category. The lower 3 are racing in the U23s. So in the leaderboard, we've got Ben Risk in first place. He's got 2 points, and that means he's in the lead for the junior team. Pelly will be 4 points, so he's in second position. Jacob and Finn are well backed right now. Liam Smedley has been outstanding. He's won all 3 races so far in the U23 group, and Yannick has placed second and third against Liam and Ben. So he's in good position right now.
The lower the score, the better.
The lower the score, the better.
You're watching Chasing Limits on Shaw TV. It's the Junior and U23 National Team Trials from beautiful Bow Valley Provincial Park in Kananaskis River, on Kananaskis River, in Kananaskis, Alberta, Canada. We're back with more here on Shaw TV.
YCOM Solutions, a proud supporter of the Chasing Limits series and Alberta amateur sports. Visit ycom.ca for details on their full list of communication products and services.
Along with Chuck Lee, the Executive Director with the Alberta Slalom Canoe and Kayak Association, my name is Phoenix. As we enter into competitor number 32, you're watching the C1 Series Canoe Slalom Women's Final Run. Willa Mason on the course now.
So Willa comes from Ottawa, Ontario, and Willa is has a famous family in the canoeing field. Her father was her grandfather actually was a noted canoe journalist. Bill Mason produced a number of books and films on canoeing in the Canadian Shield country, and she comes from a great history. Her father also competed in the freestyle worlds, and so she's come to this sport. She's been paddling since she was a baby.
So you're saying no pressure, Chuck?
No pressure at all.
No expectations, Chuck. As she has a penalty, and as we mentioned it, just as she gets her first penalty of the run.
No, Willa's doing very well here. She's got this big downstream gate. It's right on the eddy line. It's a tough move to make, but she does that very smoothly.
Although with all that background in the history, steeped in history with her family, of course, she's going to get numerous tips, numerous amounts of advice. But you still have to do it.
You still have to be out there in the boat. It doesn't matter who's out there on the side coaching you or cheering you on, but you still have to make this performance. It's all on you. Hard
little upstream, up gate, does it very, very well, handles it beautifully, goes into a couple of down gates. It'll be 12 and 13, I believe she'll be going through next. Handling it very nicely, Willa Mason.
Yeah, Willa's doing a very good job. She's keeping it boat running nicely and keeping a very clean run so far. We've only seen 2 penalty points so far against her, 1 touch, which is amazing to accomplish through this. You got to be a very body contortionist. Willa's in the U23 group, so she's competing for a spot on the U23 team.
Willa's time, you can see in front of you, she has a 2-point penalty. That is Willa Mason, as we go back to part of her performance as well, too. She had a few stumbles along the way, but for the most part, Willa did not too bad through some of the difficult challenges on this course. And here is one example where she struggled just a little bit.
Yeah, she just gets her head through that gate, and that's the important thing. She got her head through the gate.
Back onto the course again as we go through gate number 20, or gate number 2 of 18 on this course. This is Lois Betteridge, competitor number 33, as she makes her way through the course. Chuck.
Yeah, Lois also comes from Ottawa, Ontario. She is this is Lois's 4th to 5th year paddling, and she did very well at nationals last year. She was at Brazil for the Junior Worlds last year. This year she moves up to the U23 group, and she's looking for a spot to go to Krakow. Krakow, Poland will be where the Junior and the U23 Worlds are going to be held.
Hitting the middle of the gate very nicely, very confident as she continues through this run. Her time, as you can see, posted on the bottom. If there's any penalty time, there's also indicated there on the screen for you. So just watch for that as she goes through a number of these down gates. The down gates are the green gates. The up gates, as she's got to maneuver her boat around, are the red gates. Lois coming up on 1 minute right now. So far, she seemed very solid through this course.
Yeah, and I haven't seen any touches either, so she's doing very well. Lois is the competitor to beat. Probably her and Willa are fighting out for the spot on the U23 team.
Great shot of a magnificent shot of Kananaskis River there. Beautifully manicured, well done, maintained throughout the course of the year as well, too. So much to be proud of on this course here too, Chuck. Just beautifully maintained.
Yeah, we're very happy with the way this race course is shaping up for us, and very proud of the work we've been able to do over the last 30 years building a whitewater slalom training site.
She makes her way through the lower part of the lower half of this course. 18 gates is what she has to maneuver through, having a little stumble through 17. Now shoots through 18, trying to avoid it. Now she's making a stretch to the final part of the course. And Lois's time, you'll see on the bottom of your screen. No penalties. Well done for Lois in this run.
Great run, Lois.
Beautifully done. And she has a lot to be happy with. Handled this gate magnificently. There's some challenges, again, going on the up gates. Very well done, keeping an eye on where and struggling to get through that. Does it magnificently, but look at that. Her attention is on the next gate, and here's the current standings. Some exciting times here, and thank you very much for being a part of this as well, too. It is, again, we've said this before, and we'll say it again, a magnificent course here. Well-maintained, well-manicured, and it's been so much fun being here at Kananaskis River, here in Alberta, Canada, as we were watching some of the most incredible racing, and a lot of fun here as well, too. Chuck, look, thank you very much for being a part of this. A lot to look forward to. We've got some great talent here in Alberta and here in Canada. No question about it. Well, thank you very much for joining us. It's the Chasing Limits on Shaw TV, the Junior and U23 National Team Trials. For Chuck Lee, my name is Phoenix. Thanks for joining us here on Shaw TV.